Shalom Aleichem, everybody. In the Torah, we learn about Bnei Israel, children of Israel, and their departure from Egypt, Yetziat Mitzrayim. We learn an important message from this. We're taught by our sages that every person has to leave their own personal Mitzrayim, their own personal slavery in Egypt, that we all, God forbid, may find ourselves in. Mitzrayim comes from the word metzar, which means limitation, boundaries, restriction, confinement, and those type of words. So, leaving Egypt means leaving our own personal limitations, our own personal boundaries, restrictions, and doubts. So we know that Hashem hit the Egyptians hard with the plagues and split the seas. But the Jewish people had to be the ones to leave themselves. A part of them had to push themselves to leave. Hashem wasn't going to take them out for them. He was going to pave the way, but they had to leave. So we all personally have to leave our personal Egypt. And how do we do this? In Chassidus we learn a beautiful, beautiful technique. And this is first by looking at the different sfirot that exist, that are here, and that in each person we have these sfirot within ourselves. And so the first sfira is Keter, which connects to will, above logic. Will, when someone, I give this example a lot, but I think it's a very fair, it's a good analogy, that just like the parent loves the child beyond the logical reason, it's a level of will, of ratzon, that's so powerful that it doesn't need any logical explanation. So too, that's the first sfira, Keter, which means ratzon, which corresponds to ratzon. Then we have Chochma, Bina, and Das, the intellectual midot, intellect. That first, a father loves his child, and that's the source. He doesn't have to explain it. It's natural to him. It's his inner essence that he loves the child. But then he has the spheres of Chochma, Bina, and Das, the intellect. So doesn't mean he can't think of reasons of why he loves the child and he logically understands this appreciation for the child. No, it just means that the source of this parent's love for the child is from a much higher level than just intellect, but it can also be explained, connected to through his logic. I love my child. He's a part of me. He's a tremendous revelation of God's creation, God's creativity, and he's mine, he's my child, I'm responsible for him, he's dependent on me. So that's logical reasons that a person then could come to of why they love the child, but obviously the love is beyond logic. And then we have emotions, that you literally feel the emotions. You feel the love for the child, you feel the fear of chas v'shalom, something happening to him. And so obviously all these analogies we have for Hashem as well, that we connect to Hashem at a level above logic. That's the highest level of connecting to Hashem. Above logic. I love Hashem because that's who I am. I'm a part of Him. It's my being, my innermost being is a part of Hashem. That at every moment Hashem gives me life. So I don't need. So it doesn't. You don't even need to reflect to reach that level. It's the innermost part of who you are. And then you could bring it down into logical levels of why you love Hashem, why you're in awe of Hashem, why you're connected to Hashem. So then you can think, wow, he's my source of life. You think about him in intellectual ways. Then this love from the level of Keter flows down into the intellect. And then you go down to the emotions. And then your emotions, you feel a love for Hashem. In your heart, you feel an awe of Him. And this level of light, this level of will and intellect then gets enclosed in the emotions. Then you're feeling emotions towards Hashem. So in Chassidus, the Rebbe Rashab gives us a beautiful lesson of how to leave our own personal Egypt. And that is to not let us be defined, to be controlled by our intellect and our emotions, but to be controlled, so to speak, by our will, to control ourselves through our will, our keter, which is above logic and emotions. So how does this apply? How do we understand this practically? So we understand this practically, that I'm not going to be living my life in the passenger seat to my emotions. I'm not going to, if I wake up in a not so great mood, I'm not going to be defined by that. I'm not going to let that mood control me. But rather, I'm going to realize that emotions are a lower level of my consciousness, and I could actually take hold of my emotions and direct my emotions through my will and my intellect. And this is the same with intellect, that not to be controlled by intellect either. Not to need a reason to connect to Hashem, not to need a logical appreciation of why you should serve Hashem. Because that is already a limitation. Our intellect is a limitation. It is a mitzrayim if we're dependent on it. But no, if we say, I'm going to connect to Hashem because He's my Father, and I don't even need a reason, but just rather it's who I am. I have this innermost love for Him, this innermost obsession with Hashem that doesn't need a logical reason. Then through this, it'll also go down to the chokhmah bina das and the emotions, the sfilot. So through that, that's how you use the intellect and the emotion in a proper way. That they're not in control of you, but rather they're tools that help your innermost desire, your innermost will that's above logic in yourself, your ketev, your will. Then you're able to use the intellect and emotions, and the intellect and emotions are, because that's an expression of Hashem, your will. So you nullify yourselves to Hashem. We nullify ourselves to Hashem. That we realize we don't need logic, we don't need to be in a good mood to serve Hashem, but we're always going to serve Hashem because He's our Father, and that's who we are, and this is the purpose. A person then could reach an even greater level of appreciation for this by contemplating the fact, by meditating on the fact that before we were born, our souls were in a very lofty place, in a high place. They were with the Creator. They experienced a revelation of the Creator above. There was no free will for a soul above. It was clear as day, as they say, to say the least. We had a clear revelation of God. The most pleasurable thing, the greatest pleasure in this world, combined with every other person's greatest pleasure, don't even come close to the lowest level of heaven. So imagine when we were on with Hashem Himself above these levels. So that by thinking about that and then realizing that with that all being said, Hashem wants me to come down into this world to reach an even higher level, to bring down an even greater light, godly revelation. I realized, wait, I was at such a high level with Hashem Himself, and He wants me to come down to reach yet an even higher level, that I can give something back to Hashem by working hard in this world. With that, we'll be able to really get into it, and that will come from our level of will, and it will get us excited intellectually and emotionally to serve Hashem in a proper way. May we all leave our personal Egypt now, B'ezrat Hashem. We should have a lot of success. God bless you.